Hi guys, welcome. Welcome to Prelims Affairs, where we discuss issues from Prelims perspective. Today we will discuss about Red Sea. West Asia has always been a very important and favorite topic of UPSC, so please make sure that you have a very good spatial sense of West Asia. Now within West Asia, the Red Sea is making a lot of news because one, it is a very important maritime lane, sea lane of communication. It is a strategic route which connects Mediterranean Sea with Indian Ocean, and along this route where most of the maritime trade happens, there is a rebel group in the country called Yemen, and this rebel group called Houthis are creating a lot of problem along this important sea lane of communication along the Red Sea. Now the reason for this protest from this ethnic rebel group is because of the Israel-Gaza war that is taking place in West Asia. There have been a lot of victims for this maritime trade along this route because of such havoc that has been created by this ethnic rebel group, and one such victim is India as well. So studying Red Sea is very important. So some of the factual dimensions that you need to cover about Red Sea is, first, open the map and look at Red Sea and develop the spatial sense with respect to Red Sea. Okay, now if you observe Red Sea, these are some of the important countries that have their border along the Red Sea. Let us start. If you're looking at the map, look at it in one order in the way that I will tell you. Red Sea is surrounded by Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. This is the West Asian part. Now coming to the African part, you have Djibouti, Eritrea, Sudan, Egypt. Okay, so these countries, you have Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia and Yemen on the West Asian side, and then you have Djibouti, Eritrea, Sudan and Egypt on the African side. So these countries are the countries that border the Red Sea. Okay, now apart from this, two important straits that are very important is the Strait of Suez and the Strait of Bab el Mandeb. Make sure that you have a good idea where exactly they are. Apart from this, there are again two important gulfs that are there along the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden and the Gulf of Aqaba. The Gulf of Aden, if you take, there are three countries that are along the Gulf of Aden. You have Djibouti, you have Somalia, and then you have Yemen. Please look at it in the map. Don't try to buy out the names as I am telling you. You should look at the map, develop the spatial sense. Gulf of Aden, you have Djibouti, you have Somalia, and you have Yemen. And then Gulf of Aqaba, you have Egypt, you have Israel, you have Jordan, you have Saudi Arabia. Again, Gulf of Aqaba is very important. It's a gulf where four countries culminate or they share their border. Again, I'll repeat, Egypt, Israel, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. Now, because of the lot of problems created along the Red Sea, USA has intervened. It has created something called Combined Maritime Forces. This Combined Maritime Forces is present or is established in Bahrain. However, it is commissioned or it is commanded by the US Navy Admiral. Though its headquarters is in Bahrain, it is handled or it is commanded by the US Navy Admiral. And within the Combined Maritime Forces, the USA has launched something called Operation Prosperity Guardian, and this Operation Prosperity Guardian is basically to protect all those maritime ships that are going along the Red Sea. So I hope you understood Combined Maritime Forces, and within that the USA has launched the Operation Prosperity Guardian. Okay, now to speak something about this Combined Maritime Forces, it is very important. This Combined Maritime Forces, as I told you, established in Bahrain, but it's commanded by the US Navy Admiral. However, you have 39 nations that are part of this Combined Maritime Forces. Along with this, India was an associate member in 2022, but it is full-time member. It was made a full-time member in 2023. Now, within this Combined Maritime Forces, they have created different task forces. CTF 150, 151, 152, 153 and 154. So there are broadly 5 combined task forces. Okay, so each task force is in charge of some area within the Red Sea for them to protect. Okay, so let me just elaborate what these task forces are responsible for. Again, you can expect this in the match the following way in prelims, so you should have an idea about it. So if you take CTF 150, they are in charge of security of Gulf of Oman. If you take CTF 151, they're in charge of counter piracy. If you take CTF 152, they're in charge of Arabian Gulf security. If you take CTF 153, they're in charge of Red Sea and Gulf of Aden security. And last is the CTF 154, they're in charge of maritime security training as a whole. Okay, so they have divided different task forces in order to achieve different goals. As you can see, CTF 150 to CTF 154 have different objectives. Within the CTFs, the most important CTF is CTF 153. CTF 153 is in charge of Red Sea, Gulf of Aden security. Now this CTF 153, though India is a member of the Combined Maritime Forces, India is not part of CTF 153. Not only India, Saudi Arabia is also not part of CTF 153. Okay, so you should understand that both Saudi Arabia as well as India is not part of CTF 153, though they are members of the Combined Maritime Forces. So I hope you got an idea of what is the Red Sea's spatial sense and what is this Combined Maritime Forces, as well as what is Operation Prosperity Guardian. Okay, along with this, since West Asia is making a lot of news, you should understand that there is one term that has come that is known as MENA. MENA region or MENA region. MENA region means Middle East, North African regions. Okay, so the Middle East constitutes 14 countries and North Africa constitutes 6 countries. This North Africa are those countries that share their border in Mediterranean Sea. So the 14 countries of West Asia plus the 6 countries of Africa that share their border in Mediterranean Sea together forms the MENA region. Okay, so you should develop the spatial sense of Red Sea, the countries surrounding them, as well as the MENA region, because the questions can come in any way possible. So I hope this session was helpful and I hope you understood the importance of Red Sea and what are some of the important places along the Red Sea which is important from the exams point of view. With that, I'll finish this. We'll come back again with the next issue, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.